UNLV began the 1990 season at the top of the polls. But the Rebels still spent much of the early part of the season looking down the barrel of the NCAA's regulatory gun. To UNLV, and especially Tark, most of the NCAA's accusations seemed trivial. Unpaid charges for hotel minibars, and even surfboard rentals.
We led a nation in suspensions that year. We had guys that were suspended for when they checked out of the hotel, they didn't pay for a long-distance call, things that you never heard of.
Any institution that comes under the examination of the enforcement department feels heat, but if there were not major infractions, it's quite possible minor infractions would go unnoticed. I don't recall ever a case being developed for a wrongful lunch.
However trivial the accusations, they did result in the suspension at one time or another of 10 different players.
We actually didn't have a starting five for the first 4 weeks of the season. We wouldn't know who was missing the game until right before the game. Literally.
Like the time I got suspended. I was actually on the plane ready to go to LSU. And they actually came on the plane before it took off and say I can't participate.
All but one or two players avoided being suspended. Every game, we would wonder, all right, whose turn is it tonight to have to sit out?
They clearly did not want UNLV and Tarkanian and these guys representing NCAA college basketball.
They tried to destroy that team every way they could. I said, we can do one of two things. We can get pissed off and get tougher and hell mentally and kick the crap out of everybody, or else we could fold. And we just kept getting tougher and tougher.
The Rebels fought through the NCAA suspensions to win 19 of their first 23 games. It was the 24th, against Fresno State, that almost ended their season of dreams.
I'm going in for a layup, and the guy takes my legs out, and I couldn't get my hands down in time to break the fall, so in essence I broke it with my face.
His head hit the floor with a sickening thud. You could hear it. He looked like he'd been shot.
And I ended up breaking my chin and my jaw in two places, shattering teeth.
The whole Thompson Mac, dead silent. Can't hear a word. The speculation is the season was lost. So, next day during practice, who shows up? His jaw's wired shut. He's got a hockey helmet on.
As captain of the team, it was important that the guys saw that I was committed to trying to see this thing through.
Told the rest of the players that we got a fighter here leading this team. We can't let him down. Let's go.
With a look that would have made the Phantom of the Opera proud, Anthony did not miss a single game and orchestrated a Rebel run that saw UNLV win 15 of its last 16 games. But more than that, by overcoming a season of mental and physical adversity, the Rebels had developed an us-against-them mentality that was hard to overlook and easy to criticize.
You talk to people who were around this team in the Big West in particular, it seems like rock stars showing up. Just beating people up and down. Over the top.
Saw a team of urban African-American males playing with a particular swagger. In your face, it was aggressive, it was hard-edged, it was extremely confrontational. Outlaws. Very much in the ethos of street ball. There were a lot of people watching UNLV who were very proud of the fact that this swagger was being seen on national television and this team was so victorious playing this particular style of play, and the impact was profound in the inner cities, in the streets. The caps and the t-shirt, all the merchandising, anything to do with UNLV was very cool, because to wear UNLV, you were basically saying, I too am a rebel, and I identify with their rebellious spirit. There were a lot of other people watching UNLV who cringed. UNLV was called thugs.
They thought we were all thugs and idiots and dumb kids who were athletes, not even student athletes, that didn't even deserve to be in school.
I hear some people saying, oh, we heard you guys were thugs. I just giggle. I'm like laughing like, wow, us thugs.
The thug issue is racism, and there's just no other way to put that. The president of the Young Republicans was the point guard. They weren't going to jail. They weren't in the news left and right. All they were young black guys that just happened to have a whole lot of personality.
Too legit to quit. Till I got that. Too legit to quit. That's Hammer, baby. That's Hammer, man.